Mortal Kombat racists, or bigots to be more accurate.
Shirai Ryu, dog. Lin Kuei, scum.
Men are inherently the weaker sex.
Huh?
Characters who are sexist, classist, or flat out racist. Turns out Mortal Kombat has a lot of them, but is it justified? For certain characters, I mean. For example, is Kotal Kahn wrong to hate Tarkatans? Because the writers sure want me to think so, but name one good thing Tarkatans have done. No, like literally ever. What about Dark Raiden, who's constantly framed as a monster and even called a tyrant? But what did he do? Attack hell. Yeah, that's all we see him do. Then you have Sindel, who's actually terrible, beats her own daughter half to death for loving a commoner, and I'm not even joking. She literally does say that in the game. Obviously, Sindel is not justified. She deserved that good sucking she got. Today, I'm ranking every bigot in Mortal Kombat from justified to absolute monsters. They would make Hitler scared. Real quick, this video is obviously meant to be funny and not taken too seriously, but I still feel the need to clarify that and make a fast disclaimer. The Mortal Kombat series has tons of haters, so today we rank them, which hopefully you find funny or just entertaining. If so, please leave a like down below. Every single like does help my videos out a ton. Plus, every like goes to helping a struggling Tarkatan in need. So for anybody new, I'm trying to reach 500,000 subscribers before 2026. Let's do it together. Smash that red button, ring that bell so you never miss any future videos. Alright everyone, without any further ado, let's begin. Alright, here we go, ranking the haters. First up, we gotta talk about Kotal Kahn, the CEO of haters, at least on Reddit and social media. That's what they call this guy, because he wanted to waste an entire colony of Tarkatans. And I'll be real, his reasoning is not the best.
Kotal, this is cruel.
You forget. In my time, they joined Melina in rebellion against me.
Bro, Melina is half Tarkatan. She's their people, looking like them, trying to take over Outworld. Yes, they're gonna side with her. She's the best chance they have. The reason Kotal Kahn gives is not justified. However, his hatred to Tarkatans definitely is. Listen, if you want to give the cannibals who murder everyone mindlessly a second chance to half mutants from hell, if you want to spare them, go right ahead. But throughout the entire history of Mortal Kombat, Tarkatans have never done a single good thing. Mortal Kombat 11's the first time, and even then, it's only because Kitana's given them something out of it. It's not from the kindness of their heart. If you give Baraka Kronika's power, what does he do? Take over the entire planet and just start killing everybody mindlessly. Nah, dog, Kotal Kahn was justified. 100% he was right. His reasoning was bad. He did not explain himself well, but no, his hatred is justified. But then we have evil Sindel from Mortal Kombat 1. Thankfully, she's never appeared since. This woman's going straight to bigot tier. She beat her own daughter half to death because she fell in love with a commoner. Alright, this woman's crazy. Anyone below royal status she thinks is lesser and a second-class citizen. She is the definition of a bigot. But then we have Dark Raiden. Bro, Dark Raiden did nothing wrong. NetherRealm and even Midway want us to hate this character so bad. What's the worst thing he did? Protect Earth. That's all he ever does. The man attacks hell in Mortal Kombat 11 and it's framed like this horrible, awful thing. He decapitates Shinnok and it's like, oh man, he went too far. That was terrible. Bro, it's Shinnok. This man wants to end all mortal life, period, ever in the entire universe. He's going in they scare Hitler because that's true. This man wants to end all life, period, and bring back the one being. Any life form weaker than Elder God he thinks is beneath him. In fact, any Elder Gods that disagree with him, he tries to actively kill. This man's terrible. Dark Raiden didn't do enough, if anything. The man should have been sliced up even more, like spaghetti on the floor. Even that would have been justified. No, dog, I think that Raiden has pretty justified hatred. The only reason he's not top tier is because in Armageddon, he sides with Shao Kahn and Onaga. No, dog, never do that. He was still doing it to protect Earthrealm, but nah, you never side with those crazy people. Alright, that's a step too far. But next up, let's talk about blind haters, because every Shokan and Motaro are going down here for different reasons, so stay with me. First up is Goro and Kentaro, because they're racist against each other, and I mean that word literally. They're the same species with different races, and the tiger pattern, right? If you're a tiger Shokan, like Kentaro, then you're seen as lesser to Goro. And I'm guessing that's because he's from the royal family, right? He's the prince, so he looks like the king and queen. Anyone who looks different from the royal family is probably seen as lesser in the Shokan species. So yeah, they're straight up racist. But then we have Shiva, who's a straight up man-hater. She calls men the inferior sex and means it without any bit of irony. That's just straight up sexism. I'm sorry, Shiva, you're terrible. I still love playing you and your fashion sense, but that personality is terrible. Then finally we have Motaro. So the Centaurs and the Shokan hate each other so blindly only because they're competing for Shao Kahn's affection. And that's 100% true. I wish I was joking. I'm not. Originally, Shao Kahn were top dog because they helped Shao Kahn win Mortal Kombat tournaments, but after losing twice in a row, he pushed them down and elevated the Centaurs. Now suddenly they were his #1 species, and the Shao Kahn were so salty about this that, stay with me, they cursed the Centaurs to only have 2 legs. That's right, they went from horse people to like goat people or something, because they have the horns. If you're wondering why Motaro has 2 legs in Armageddon, that's why. The Shao Kahn cursed his entire species, his entire people as a whole, and only because they were now Shao Kahn's #1. That's so petty. However, don't get it twisted, the Centaurs hate Shao Kahns too, just as much. Oh wait, Shiva goes here, she's a bigot. Sexism makes you a bigot. Along with these 3 characters, let's rapid fire. Rain, Tanya, and Melina. All 3 of these people are classist. Like straight up, if you're not the royal ruling class, you're beneath them. And Rain might be the worst, because don't forget, he betrayed his entire race of Edenians because Shao Kahn made him prince. And I'm not joking. That's an actual fact from the lore. Rain wanted to be prince of the Edenians during the rebellion, and they said no, so he went to Shao Kahn, the man oppressing his people, and said, yo, I want to be prince. And Shao Kahn said, bet, just rat out where your people are living, alright? Where are those rebellions hiding? And Rain told him, that's why he's prince of Edenia. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Now Tanya is the opposite. She fights for the rebels, but she'll do anything to elevate them. Because to her, Edenians are superior in every way. She outright says this in some games. It's her entire philosophy, right? She wants to elevate Edenians not to be fair, but because they should be the ruling class. Then we have Melina, who's essentially the same thing. She was created for the sole purpose of being the princess of Outworld and ruling over the entire place, so it makes sense she'd have this complex about her. Pretty much everybody is beneath her, right? She wants to be the ruler and everyone else is inferior, especially Tarkatans. She hates her own race because they gave her butterface, alright? That Tarkatan half is why she's ugly and she hides that mouth constantly, so she's also a hater towards her own people. Next up we have Ashura, who's a hilarious example of a hater because she thinks her sword is holy and is telling her to kill specific people like vampires and demons, and she does it without question. This woman goes on a genocidal tear, and turns out that the vampires aren't actually bad in the Midway era. They're just a different species, but they're not evil. In fact, Ashura's using their sword. It's not holy, it's just vampiric. It wants to consume blood, and it's tricking her into doing what it wants. So yeah, Ashura is the definition of a blind hater. Her sword told her who to kill, and she did so implicitly. But what about Scorpion, everybody's favorite hater? So when the series begins, he hates the Lin Kuei. Like straight up. It's a rival faction. I think there's even a racial element too. The Shirai Ryu are all Japanese and the Lin Kuei are all Chinese. So there's a racial beef there too, I believe. But these warring clans hate each other. Then on top of that, Sub-Zero wasted his whole clan, he thinks, and killed his family, he thinks. So that just amplified Scorpion's hatred, but it's kinda justified. When the entire clan is constantly trying to kill you and then eventually succeeds, yeah, your hatred is pretty justified. And Bi-Han, the original Sub-Zero, then becoming Noob Saibot, was a hater for the same reason. However, he also kills his own brother without hesitation and deception just because he was following him and possibly getting in the way of his plans. Yeah, in other words, anybody against Noob Saibot gets put on the t-shirt right away. He's crazy. Reptile, specifically from the Midway era, this man is a tragic character, right? Always trying to revive his people. However, everyone seems to forget what happens when he attains power, right? When his people come back, they either enslave everybody or just straight up kill and eat everyone. Which makes sense when you realize they're dinosaur people, but also they've been oppressed their entire life and now it's time for some payback. It's kind of justified hate, I'm not gonna lie. When your entire race gets wiped out and everyone spits on you, calling you gross, stinky, and ugly, then your clan comes back, oh yeah, it's payback time. Actually, he might go here because he's motivated by anger. Alright, let's fill up this bottom row, it's pretty easy. Devora, this woman wants to take over the world with her race of bug people and also kill whatever species is currently in charge. So like humans or Edenians, you get the idea. If you're not a bug person, then Devora wants to kill and destroy you, so it's pretty evil. Next we have Sector, who wants to turn every strong human or every intelligent human into a cyborg and then eliminate everybody else, because to him cyborgs are the future, flesh is weak. Then we have Baraka, his entire species is crazy. Not only do they kill everyone else without question, they also cannibalize each other. That's how Jade kills Tanya. She throws Tarkatan essence at her and they viciously attack her. Yeah, so just think about that for a second. The Tarkatans smell a rival male's scent and just go rabid, killing Tanya instantly. Yeah, they're self-haters too, just crazy people. So actually Baraka's a blind hater when you think about it. Then we have Hotaro. This man believes order is all that matters, and if you go against that, he will kill you without question. Filthy Chaos Realmers, he says, get out of here, get deaded. And anyone else who goes against order, you're also lesser, I'm going to erase you from existence, right? That's how Hotaro feels. Make no mistake, the man is pretty crazy. He's downright fascist. In fact, in Mortal Kombat 1, Havoc calls him fascist multiple times. His entire realm is seen as a fascist regime, which is a stone's throw from racism, right? I feel like fascism fascism and bigotry are next door neighbors. Then finally we have Shao Kahn. Alright, listen up. Originally, I wasn't going to include Shao Kahn because his motivation was to conquer, and he never really expresses hatred towards one group or another. However, there is one exception, and that's if you attack him. That's right, Reptile's race got exterminated by Shao Kahn because they opposed him. So that definitely changes things. If just a handful of people from a certain species attack Shao Kahn, he will wipe out your entire bloodline, your entire race of people. So with that revelation, he's definitely going on this list. Oh my god, I forgot Scarlet. She's going like around here. So Scarlet hates anybody above her, and I'm not joking. Anybody upper class, she can't stand. She's the opposite of Melina, pretty much, right? Melina thinks anyone below her status means nothing. Scarlet hates everyone above her status. We learn this in Mortal Kombat 11 when she gets mad at Kitana. Kitana, bro! The woman trying to liberate everybody from Shao Kahn. Yeah, that Kitana. Scarlet hates her just because she's above her. She's like, oh, look at you, brought low like the rest of us. How can you be that petty? You're talking to Kitana, the woman risking her life every day to save people, to free the entire realm, and you still hate her just because of her status. Kitana's a princess and Scarlet can't stand that. Yeah, she's a definite bigot. You know what, dog? I'm dropping this entire row, actually. I'm gonna delete it and just move them up because that makes more sense. Alright, everyone, and there you have it. Every racist, bigot, and otherwise prejudiced person in Mortal Kombat ranked from bad to worse. Hopefully it was fun to watch. I hope you enjoyed. Please leave a like down below if you did. Let's try and get 2,000 likes on today's video. Then finish that combo by subscribing and ringing that bell so you never miss any future videos. Make sure to come back next time, and as always, stay underdogs.